Sure. I think one of the things that we must do if under a McGee administration is really have a hard conversation on the Chef V. O'Neill that's had a great impact on our entire school system. Many of our kids are going outside of the district, which means we have an enrollment issue. But you can't solely focus on education without talking about housing, mental health, food disparities that many of our families and their parents are faced with. So I will continue to work alongside the superintendent, would also work alongside the Board of Education. Our current mayor seems to believe that, you just let them do what they need to do and everything will be well. But you have to be able to leverage the mayor's office to support the overall turnaround of Hartford's school system.
I'm the champion for each and every kid in Hartford. I know that I've developed programs that are still running that I developed when I started as mayor 2001, and before that when I was at Trinity working in the educational system in Hartford. The biggest program that I think I could create going forward for Hartford schools is to ensure that each student gets the best opportunity. I thought with the Hartford Youth Scholars Program and my work at Stowe Village, I've learned something that not everything that happens in the classroom is what influences the kids' success in education. We have to connect the bedrooms, living rooms, and dining rooms of these kids into our classrooms, and that's going to be my number one priority, to empower parents to manage their kids' education. I know how to do that, and I'm going to be doing that day one.
Sure, I think the superintendent and the board have put a plan in place that makes a lot of sense, and a big part of it is focusing back on our neighborhood schools. Our neighborhood schools have been neglected for way too long, and that's why we made investments in bringing back a comprehensive Weaver High School in North End. That's why we're fixing up Martin Luther King, and a school like JMA, bringing it back from Magnet to be a neighborhood middle school. But it's also about what happens in the school, and I think that the superintendent and her team are focusing on the right things. The core of strong instruction and reading and math, a real focus on social and emotional learning, and they've backed that up with putting more social workers in the schools, more folks focused on attendance, because that's a big issue for our city. So I am proud of the partnership with our superintendent, and I look forward to keeping that going and continuing to execute on the plan that this board has adopted.
Well, education in the city of Hartford, I have what I call a 5-point plan to realign the city. And we've got quite a few different items in our first priority, which is education. Our most controversial one would probably be making it a condition of employment for several of the department heads to serve as members of the Board of Directors, or members of the Board of Education. That would probably be our most controversial.